This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Hayabusa. Save 20% off with code AprilNuts at HayabusaFight.com. HostGator. Save 45% off shared hosting with code MMA45. CheapAir.com. Get $5 off any flight in the U.S. with code MMACheapAir. DefenseSoap.com. Serious soap for serious athletes. Save 15% off with code MMANuts. Hey fans, MMA Nuts, episode 285.
285!
My name's Ingo Weigold.
I'm Matt Griffith, VP of MMA, the MMA show by MMA fans, for MMA fans. We walk the line between serious and ridiculous.
VP of MMA.
What's happening?
Okay.
Little reference to New York getting legalized or MMA getting legalized in New York. Maybe New York's getting legalized in MMA. I'm not quite sure.
I like it.
After that.
It's like 11 years in the making, right? Or something crazy?
Something.
How do you feel about this?
Well, I think let's just start off with MMA getting legalized in New York.
Okay.
Let's play a little game, Ingo.
Sounds great.
All right, so the game we're going to play is things that were said during the arguments that were presented by the legislators. And I will say a statement, and you will tell me true or false whether one of the legislators said it.
Yes. Go for it.
All right, here we go. As an African American, we have been in cages fighting on the plantations.
Now, granted, I have not listened to this. I will say false.
That was true.
What?
Actually said.
Okay.
You know how we feel about the chokehold here in New York City?
I'll say true.
Correct. I was visited by the vice president of MMA.
False?
True.
Who the fuck is that?
Me.
Okay.
MMA is like gay porn with a different ending.
That's got to be false.
That's true.
What?
Sweet.
They
put the cack in human cack fighting.
False. Come on.
That is false.
Okay,
Can I get that one in?
No.
People are often maimed.
False?
True.
Okay.
Bare knuckles to the face.
True.
True.
Okay. I figured that.
Nunchucks.
False?
True.
What the fuck is a nunchuck?
Exactly. One of the legislators references a faked Edmund Tervarian's Twitter account. True or false?
False.
True.
Okay.
Nothing here will stop kids from getting into fight clubs.
True.
True. It's choreographed like pro wrestling and kickboxing, so I'll vote for it.
True.
That is true.
Ignorance.
Oh my God. So 95% of the bullshit I just spewed was true. And is that not scary that these are the people that are making up the laws and running fucking the city?
This is normal.
It's normal, as Anderson Silva would say.
It's normal. They have they're so disconnected.
God.
That's the problem. You know, they're all so disconnected from reality. On both sides, based on what you said, there was ridiculous in one direction and ridiculous in another. That seems like it couldn't possibly be true, but they were both true. So the people that voted for are fucking idiots, and the people that voted against are fucking idiots. So somehow they negate each other? Is that what happens?
Well, there were so many more yays than nays. I think it was a 6-1. Well, there were. And that was Rosie O'Donnell's brother with the gay porn with a different ending comment.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yes.
The problem is the people that are arguing the point and trying to persuade the other legislators to vote nay have no idea what they're talking about. How can you be in that position and not understand what you're trying to convince people of?
I don't know. Don't they have people that research this stuff for them and give them like input and
You would think.
you know, a person perhaps that knows, you know, modern culture, isn't stuck in 1912?
Exactly. The thing
You
that
know?
sucks is the mainstream media didn't pick up on all this.
Well, it's not
just-
news.
Well, legalizing MMA, you're the last state
Yeah.
to do it. Should have been a little more public besides just the MMA sites.
They got more important shit to talk about, like Donald Trump's hair and all
Yeah,
this stuff.
like Kardashian.
Yes, her
lost
big
my
ass.
diamond ring.
Yes.
It's a problem, or
She
it's
has a
not.
pretty big ass, though.
It is true.
It's a lovely big ass.
So we want to talk about a little Polaris 3 recap.
Oh, yes.
We had Jake Shields versus AJ Agazarm.
Yes.
Oh my god. This I don't watch a lot of jiu-jitsu, but I saw some smatterings going back and forth. Yeah. Jake Shields, his post-fight interview, calling the guy a bitch and a pussy, saying the guy just wanted to have a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Saw some in the match. There was dirtiest match ever.
Eye poking.
Eye gouging. Specifically, the guy Shields is fighting is trying to finger fuck his eyeball.
Why? Was there bad blood between these two or what?
Apparently, because I guess he just wanted to get a draw, and if he got a draw, he would consider that a win. Kind of like Brendan Shaw.
I was about to say that.
Jiu-jitsu against Cyborg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same old shit. Well, I went in there and I didn't get submitted. Ding! You know, the sparkle off his teeth. You know, for me, that's a victory for a professional athlete.
That's
not
bullshit.
So much.
If you're going to go into that realm, you got to go 100%.
Balls to the wall, baby.
You got to go to get submitted or be submitted.
Yeah.
Or
I didn't.
Both.
Oh, good point. I wonder that I meant to send this to you earlier. Did you see the referee's, did you notice this? This is the back of the referee's shirt.
No.
It says, what does that say?
Death before decisions.
Yes.
There you go.
So, death before decisions on the back of the referee's shirt. Not so much in the fight.
No. But, and then there's another one where Jake Shields tries to attack him afterwards with a slap, and it was reminiscent of that Mayhem Miller incident, remember?
Yes.
You know, I wonder, had things gone differently at that point, would Mayhem Miller's life have turned out differently when you look back at that scenario? Because everyone blamed Mayhem, and I think at that time, he got the harshest punishment out of everybody that was involved between the Shields and the Diaz's and whatnot.
Well, according to his story, if I recall, he was sent in there to create a ruckus, right? But then they didn't realize how much that would get out of hand so quickly. And then it was like, oh, you're in trouble now. So, and, you know, maybe he got a bad end of the deal there. Yeah, I don't know. And he's in the news again with all kinds of shit, right? Poor guy. Has problems, obviously, beyond just, you know, the normal stuff. Man. But, you know, yeah, maybe. I mean.
Who knows?
Who knows? Exactly.
So I leave that one up there. And then we have Rousimar Palhares.
Yes.
Versus Garry Tonon.
Huge, by the way.
What do you think the weight difference was? Did
they release official weights?
They probably did.
I would say Palhares is at 225, easy.
I'd say it was probably a 50-pound weight discrepancy.
Oh my God. Huge.
Which gives advantages and disadvantages to both guys. And fuck, man. What'd you think?
I was really nervous. Every time that guy fights anybody or matches anyone, I'm like, God, I don't want to see anyone get seriously hurt. Yeah. But Tonon, to his credit, dude, the first few minutes, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I mean, I've done jiu-jitsu for a long while, and I mean, leg locks are not my thing. I'm like, what are they doing? I have no clue what's happening. Is someone in trouble? Are they not in trouble? I'm like, please tap, and then they're not tapping, and weird shit. You know, it was all over the place. And there was times where Palhares' strength, I thought, was beneficial, and there were other times where it was to his detriment because Tonon would use it to turn around, you know, turn things around or be crafty and get some weird kind of reversal going. It was exciting. I thought it was fun. You know, what did you think?
Well, it was interesting too because Palhares could just throw him around, like a rag doll at times. Yeah. So there's positions where I think Tonon may have thrown up a triangle and then. He's about to get rampage slam, and he steps out of it.
Done, yeah.
So he had to choose where do I want to attack and where do I want to not to. And then once Tonon wore him out, it was all him. And you know, 90% of the match was probably Tonon in control. And obviously another fight went to a draw, but the amount of action that was in there was incredible. And the thing I take away from this is, why can't I get this in MMA? Why can't I have this? I mean, I get it. The bigger fighter is going to have the advantage of strength, but what happens when your cardio falls? I mean, you avoid for that first few minutes, and then the smaller guy is going to have the speed. And
You know, it's what do they say? Power's beaten by speed.
Oh, I don't know Conor McGregorisms.
Whatever you
Speed
call
beats
it.
power.
Speed beats power.
And accuracy or timing, something. I'll fuck it up every time, and then I'll just post it here to save my ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more of this, and I think that they're slowly making a case for grappling being a potential showcase type sport that could, you know, I still think this kind of shit needs to be in the Olympics. That would be a good step in the right direction. If they somehow
doesn't make sense that it's not.
No.
You have fucking boxing, you have judo, you have taekwondo.
Yep. Oh, you have Greco-Roman wrestling. Do they have sambo in or no?
I don't know.
No, I'm not
but
sure.
I mean, you have the major other components.
Yes.
And you don't have the biggest component.
Right. Yeah. The
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. You look back at the beginning of the UFC, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
If you didn't know jiu-jitsu, you were fucked. You were straight up fucked.
Yep.
So it's crazy. So speaking of that, you should transition into Metamoris.
Oh, good point. Yes. Were you throwing me a softball?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm getting sleepy. It's late. So, all right. Interesting news from Metamoris. Number one, let me just say that the upcoming Metamoris 7 apparently being advertised without any signed contracts from competitors. Interesting, but not so.
Okay, so we're gonna have Fedor.
Yeah. So doesn't surprise me though,
Marcelo
based on
Garcia?
what I'm about to tell you, which is that Halleck Gracie is now looking to fight MMA to pay for debts that he has accrued throughout promoting this Metamoris thing. Not so looking like they are that profitable or even making money at all. He's multiple hundreds of $1,000s in debt. And, you know, it's weird because that was like the biggest event in this space.
Yeah,
and
that was
they
kind
can't
of
make
the
money.
Pioneer.
Yes.
of
He's got the
all these
Gracie
super
name, the whole
fights.
9 yards. They're not making money. They can't make money doing this shit.
I find it so hard to believe when you do events and you don't invite people to them. You block the media from your event.
Yep.
And then you're somehow expecting everybody to pay for a pay-per-view, and then people that have bought them in the past, somehow your credit card is still getting charged a reoccurring subscription, so you're fucking people all across the way, and now you have to do this. Maybe you should stop putting on events until you pay everybody off in the first place.
Sure, I agree. Well, they had investors, I think, early on, and the cost was too high. I think people don't have the stomach to do what the Fertittas did, right? Which is lose their ass in the beginning, which I think
growing pains.
Oh yeah, millions of dollars lost, and I think the investors were like, fuck this. So it's interesting to see what will happen. I mean, you have the Polaris now. You have multiple kind of things popping up.
I hear the Eddie Bravo Invitational is supposed to be the shit.
Is it? I've never seen it. I mean, I know he's had him, but
it's on Fight Pass. I need to watch it.
And Garry Tonon is one of his boys. So speaking of which, and I have not said like yet, so that shit's working.
You just said it by saying you didn't say it.
I've been saying like entirely too much because of outside influences in my life.
Yeah.
People who say like a lot, somehow, you know how that works. So I have a sign right next to the camera that says no like with a big X. I'm not allowed to say like. So and I said it like 5 times. And
are you going to let me tase you then?
No.
Is that what we're going to play?
I want cattle prod up my ass.
Ingo. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to operate that, though. I need
just
something
reach over.
easily accessible. I don't need
It'll
to
just
see
be
bare
sticking
ass.
out. I'll cut a hole in my pants. It'll just be sticking out.
And then I'll have a button here.
What does a cattle prod look like anyways?
We're going back. I don't know.
I don't even know.
We're going to go back to buttons, and I press the button, and it's going to shoot up your ass. Or is it always in your ass?
Could be.
And just waiting for an electrical charge
It's always
to
in
run
there.
through it.
I want my cattle prods deep in my ass.
Right.
Yes. All right, so there's that. So speaking of deep in someone's ass,
There we go.
what the fuck
What are you gonna talk
is
about?
going on with your boy Jon Jones?
Okay. So he was on the this is weird. He's on the MMA with Ariel Helwani.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, wow, I got pulled over for drag racing the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I wasn't drag racing.
Wasn't me.
And I said some things that I shouldn't have said. And I apologize for that. And I got 5 tickets for this.
In one traffic stop.
And 15 minutes later, after he has that interview, TMZ releases the police officer's body cam footage.
Oh, yes.
which is a little curious.
Like bi-curious?
Yeah, looking back on the situation, it's almost, TMZ's been real cozy with the UFC of late, giving them all this backstage access. So I wonder if they had that first, talked to the UFC, and then told the UFC, listen, your boy's got some problems. You might want to get in front of it first. So gave him the opportunity to look like the good guy.
Yeah.
Then posted the camera footage, which still, I don't understand how that's even legal, of them posting camera footage from a police officer.
Well, it's weird. And how do they get it? It has to come from the police.
Right.
So why would they release that? It's weird.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And then the exchange, too, it sounded, in my opinion, both of them are wrong. The police officer comes up and, why are you drag racing in that Cadillac? Like, really? You're going to start off the conversation with that? And then Jon Jones, I don't know how you sleeping with yourself at night. Well, I sleep mostly on my left side, sometimes on my back. So he's just antagonizing Jon at that point, just trying to bait him into, obviously you get pulled over, you don't want to be going back and forth with the cop, but man. So as we proceed down this, so Jon ends up going to jail for 2 days because this violated his probation. They have to give him a new probation. So now he has to enroll in an anger management course, 60 additional hours of
Again.
community service.
Yes.
And now he needs to get permission from his probation officer before he drives anywhere.
Perfect.
Yeah, so he didn't get
He shouldn't be driving at
curfew.
all.
Well, that's what I was going to add. He's going to go back to court on Tuesday to address these 5 tickets.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So his fight at UFC 197, which we're going to talk about next, is still going on. That's not in jeopardy. But what do you make of all this? Why Jon's had a history, obviously, of issues driving.
Yes.
Just DWI, hit and run.
Pregnant women.
75 and a 35, and then now drag racing and whatever other 4 or 5 trumped up charges. What should he even be doing? Should he even be behind the wheel at this point? Fuck, man.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, Matt.
Seriously.
I think he should not be behind the wheel. And I think at this point, if the UFC wants to protect their investment, they need to make sure he's not behind the wheel for a while till he straightens his shit out. I mean, yeah, he was on the Ariel Helwani show, and then he was with Ariel a few months back talking all candidly.
Yeah.
Dude, nothing's changed. It's just, now it's like, it's worse. Fuck. See, I said it again. Now it's worse. So.
Why? But he's celebrated like a hero. Look at the press conference.
Yeah, well.
The unstoppable press conference.
Yeah.
DC booed. Boo, motherfucker. Jon Jones, yes. 5 months sober, Ingo.
Yeah.
5 months sober.
So now he does this shit when he's sober? Maybe he should get back on the drugs or something.
He is pound for pound the best driver in the UFC.
Ever? Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's all crazy. His life is surrounded by turmoil, and then now you got the whole fight coming up, which is totally fucked up. Cormier pulls out, right? Do you know the details of that? Because I don't. Why did Cormier pull out? Does anyone know?
I want to say it was, I forget specifically what it is, maybe a knee injury, doesn't need surgery. He will return in August or September of the year. And then we have this fight against OSP that was announced. Do you like this matchup for Jon?
I don't. It makes no damn sense. I don't know why they would pick this guy. OSP out of nowhere. This is like Anderson Silva fighting who? It's weird. I don't know what's going on. It's such a strange, is there anyone else he could be fighting?
Well, I had theories. I mean, I get it from the standpoint of, I think it's good for Jon on one side as far as, he was out for a year and he's got some shit going on. Gives him a nice warm-up fight, fight he should probably win.
You would hope so.
It's for an interim title, which makes no fucking sense. No. And the memes that are passing around the internet, you get a belt! You get a belt! Everyone gets a belt!
That's pretty much what it's been.
Fucking Oprah, for fuck's sake.
That's awesome.
The goddamn UFC is making a mockery of championship belts. It is the WWE now. And
they don't mean anything.
Exactly. It's all bullshit. So why even have them in the first place? Just open weight, open fight, whatever.
Yes.
But back to Jon Jones. I feel like this is a missed opportunity.
How so?
If I am the UFC and I'm matchmaker right now, I would go, you know what? How can I add a little more fire and spice to this Daniel Cormier fight whenever it happens? Well, I know Cain Velasquez is fighting Travis Brown at UFC 200. I would have pulled Cain Velasquez out of that fight, and I would have made him fight at UFC 197 heavyweight match against Jon Jones.
So
you have an AKA versus Jon rivalry going here.
Does Jon want that fight?
He does want that fight.
Oh, wow.
Maybe not at this time, but you make that fight happen at heavyweight. You have Jon go up there, and hopefully Jon can smash him.
Cain?
Yes.
That'd be interesting. Wrestler versus wrestler. Guy with a lot of power and slick ring skills versus a heavy cardio guy who we're not sure if has cardio anymore.
We don't know, right? Hard to say.
Nobody knows.
C-level Cain, I don't know. So say he does get that win, then it sets up this match against Cormier. Like, in the amount of shit talking, yeah, I just beat your best guy. Or maybe your best guy, I don't even know anymore. Fuck you.
Yeah.
So then you do DC versus Jon Jones. It's not going to happen at UFC 200, but maybe it's the card in New York as the headliner for that one.
Yeah.
And if he gets past Cormier, then it sets up the super fight, Jon Jones versus Luke Rockhold, so he can go for the trifecta of calling him the AKA killer and not the Gracie killer.
All right.
But I'm just saying, there's an opportunity here to destroy AKA.
There is. It's all on the shoulders of Jon Jones. As long as he's not driving, he'll make it.
Or you just, try to prolong this fight against DC, and then by that time, hopefully Jon will fuck himself in the process, and then Daniel will just remain champion.
That's a given. So
I don't know.
Poor Jon. He's troubled.
He's a hero, Ingo.
Really?
He's 5 months sober.
Okay. We don't know that for a fact.
I don't even know if I can say that with a
I'm not sure
face.
that's true, Matt.
He's only been drug tested once, by the way.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
And what can we say about AKA? Fucking another guy getting injured, freak accident, Ingo. 1 in a million shot, right?
You had mentioned a few months back that you were questioning their training methods, right?
Yeah, I think everyone is saying the caveman training.
Yeah.
We get Velasquez, Nurmagomedov, and now Mr. Daniel Cormier.
Who's next? Luke Rockhold?
I hope not.
He's too much man.
That guy cannot be contained.
No, he cannot be contained. That's right. All right. Well, very good. In other news, just change gears on you here. Anderson Silva apparently wants to fight Conor McGregor. What do you think about that?
I'm okay.
You're fine?
I'm okay with this.
You're fine with that?
He might be a little too big, but that would go against my philosophy of open weight. So I don't know how we get around this weight class thing unless you go overseas. This is a problem here.
Are they not legally allowed to fight each other? Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, because there are weight classes.
You have to be a maximum, so you have to have a certain minimum weight that you have to be?
a certain maximum. So you have to fit in a weight class here in the United States. If we go overseas, though, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, I mean, you can do that.
Overseas as in Brazil?
Yeah, anywhere not U.S. I mean, you could even go Canada if you wanted.
Ooh, Canada.
With their weird weigh-ins, like GSP Nick Diaz. He might be over by 3 pounds, but that's Canadian. It's conversion. Right? It's like you get paid in Canadian dollars, and I convert it, and I get like $1 after 1,000. Right. Well, what the fuck?
It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's less, okay? It's
the fucking PayPal.
Wait a second. This is weight. It doesn't matter. It converts. It's all good.
So
everybody wants that paper, Matt. People don't give a shit about the belt anymore.
Well, that's the other thing we should talk about. And look how many people stepped up to say we want to fight Jon Jones. Rumble Johnson's name was thrown around. Rashad Evans, Mark Hunt, Shane Carwin offered to come out of retirement to fucking fight him.
Yeah, that's big payday, man.
Wow. I love this.
He's probably not scared of Jon. He's so fucking big.
No.
Like 100 pounds heavier than that guy.
And another one where... That's where you look at Palhares versus Tonon, Jon Jones versus fucking Shane Carwin. Advantages and disadvantages. Avoid him for 2 minutes. Look, you see how he punched himself out against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
We got to get around some of these rules one way or another. And I don't know if it's just overseas or what, but Anderson Silva versus Conor McGregor, I'd fine. Let's do it. We might as well just go into UFC 200 then if we're going to go on this.
We are.
This talk of Conor McGregor.
Okay.
So it's finally official. Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2 at 170.
Okay.
So we got that.
Apparently, Conor insisted on 170. Didn't want to do it any.
Which is weird. And then we have the 145 interim title. Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar. So we'll push that one aside. We don't care. Let's talk about this one. So you're saying Conor McGregor wanted 170 against Nate Diaz. First off, why? Why are we having this fight again? Did we not just see it? Was it not definitive?
You know, I don't know. My opinion is that you give Diaz a full fight camp, it's bad news for Conor. But I don't know. I mean, the guy's pretty smart, so maybe not. Do you think that Conor has a chance to win this thing?
Well, when we go into detail, I mean, I'll just tell you right now. I think Conor McGregor wins this fight.
Okay.
And I'll go on record right now and saying that because I think he's smart enough to
Train
come up with a game plan. Unfortunately,
You're gonna hit the jiu-jitsu mats.
Well,
Learn how to grapple.
think about this. How many training videos have you seen Conor McGregor doing jiu-jitsu?
0.
Exactly. I was thinking about that earlier.
None.
I haven't seen this fucker doing any jiu-jitsu.
No.
But I'm afraid that this loss is kind of... Look at GSP when he lost to Matt Serra.
Oh, yeah.
When he came back, he became a point fighter at best.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do what I need to do to win, but it may not be the most exciting of fights.
Sure.
I'm kind of afraid this is what's going to happen to Conor McGregor. I think he's smart enough to get the job done.
So pitter-patter him for 5 rounds?
But
4, whatever. 3.
at what cost?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point. He could have kept that shit up that he did in the first round for 5 whole rounds.
Right.
Just he would have won that shit.
Take the all he needs to do really is take the power down, add the leg kicks in, and
just
pace
pitter-patter him
yourself
to
for
death.
5 rounds.
You get like a
Don't get taken down.
Yes, that too.
Do not keep distance. Keep your range. In, out, in, out. Leg kick, leg kick, leg kick. Go to the body. The head's not going to work on a Diaz.
I
Go
don't know
to the
that Conor
body.
can do that style. Can he do that?
What?
In his head? He's too brash, too cocky. I don't know that he can play that style. Can he do that?
Telling you.
He will.
Telling you.
That would be
It's
depressing.
unfortunate.
I don't want to see that.
No, I mean, I'm really surprised that this fight's even happening in the first place.
Yeah.
It sounded from everything I've read that it was really Conor wanted this fight.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted it back, and he wanted it bad, and apparently Conor's dictating what's going to happen with his career, which is cool in one sense, but as a fan, was this a fight you wanted to see for Conor?
No.
And especially UFC 200 was this, oh my God, this is supposed to be the biggest and best card ever. Right now, scale of 1 to 10.
6.5.
Yeah.
They're gonna
it ain't up there, is
They're going
it?
to need something big, and there is some talk.
Yeah.
Would you like me to bring this up?
Go ahead.
All right. Of GSP coming out of retirement to face Robbie Lawler at this motherfucker. Which is not that exciting to me, but you mix all this together and you kind of go, that makes sense, because if shit hits the fan, you got a little conglomerate of mix-ups you can do in case someone gets hurt.
True.
Now you got 4 fighters in the same weight division. It can happen. Conor now fights Robbie Lawler for the belt. No.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, GSP isn't going to come back for a title run. He wants no part of a title. And I think the best thing for GSP is come back for fun fights. And I threw these out there. I said, why don't we get like a GSP versus Vitor Belfort?
Jesus Christ.
A GSP versus Lyoto Machida.
Sure.
Fuck. I'd even go for GSP versus Matt Hughes at this point.
Okay.
I don't give a shit.
It's a 80,
I don't-
70 pounder versus a 205er.
I don't want GSP versus Robbie Lawler. I mean, I get it from the one standpoint. If you have Lawler with great takedown defense, you got to force GSP to just stand. Is he just going to jab you to death?
He might.
You know, I mean, 2 years out, I don't want to see him in a title fight. I want to see him in a fun fight. We'll see.
I agree.
And then there's this other talk on UFC 200 because, you know, you have those other 2 fights and you have like Kane versus Travis Brown. You have Diego Sanchez versus Joe Lozon. And they said they're going to do one more title fight on this card. And the only other options are Robbie Lawler doesn't have a fight, and Miesha Tate doesn't have a fight. And, you know, Chris Cyborg.
Fighting 198.
Right.
Yeah, Leslie Smith, right? Yes.
In Brazil.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Leslie Smith. We hardly knew he.
Well, it's long enough away. She could, if she's 1 minute destruction, technically, she could come back and just fucking roll that shit again right at UFC 200 in July.
True. And the rumor is that Holly Holm turned down that fight because she wants the Miesha Tate rematch. Mm-hmm. So Miesha's the only other one with opening.
She definitely has an opening, Matt.
That's true. She's got
I'll be here all night.
She got a couple. She might even have 4.
Might be more than 4.
Oh, Jesus. Where are you going? You got a fucking eyeball? Come on now.
You got everything.
Come on now.
You got everything.
Don't Michael Bisping that woman.
Nostrils, ears. You got the whole 9. If it's an orifice, shit will fit in there.
Hey, we are ready. We are prime time. We are ready for TV, by the way.
Right. Yes, we are. Like what kind of TV? Cinemax?
Satellite. It's the best kind.
Well, the good thing is if we ever do end up on TV, hopefully we'll be taping the show during the daytime.
It'll be much fresher.
Not at midnight.
I couldn't see when we do it during the day. We are a lot quicker.
Oh yeah.
Right now we're kind of mellow.
We're mellow. But the 11:30, 12 show is a whole different story. And then if you're having beers at noon, it's like now you're like, whoa.
We would be so money.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
That's right.
So money.
That's right.
So UFC 200.
I'm not impressed, man. I'm not even looking forward to it at this point. I have not been stimulated properly. I need someone to massage.
Blow my mind.
Yes, right.
That's what Dana White said. He's gonna blow our minds. I'm waiting, Dana. I'm waiting.
Is it happening?
Blow my mind. Well, at this point, I don't think you can. I want a card. 5 fights.
Fedor is supposedly in talks to fight in the UFC. That would blow your mind.
No,
UFC 200.
I don't care anymore.
Fedor?
He's done.
For the belt? Pertum!
No.
No
interest.
Damn. There's a lot to move the needle with Matt.
Fedor versus Conor McGregor?
Now you're listening. All right.
If you did something different, then I'm in, but I'm not feeling it.
Okay.
Are we done with UFC 200?
We're done.
All right. So I'll throw something out, and then you give me your feedback. So Ariel Helwani gets fired from Fox.
Good for him.
What do you think happened?
Weighing him down. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like perhaps he leaked some shit that he wasn't supposed to.
Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2 at 170.
Yes.
Or UFC 200.
Exactly.
And then he also, I think, the bigger thing was he gave Rory McDonald a platform to preach about free agency.
Yes.
And
he's a reporter, not a shill. So good for him. I always thought he was in bed with the UFC, and he may still be, but at the same time, he does do things that seem morally correct in this, like in this situation. He's a reporter. They report the news. You cannot tell them not to say shit. Mm-hmm. That is their job. That's what they do. They talk about what's happening.
Well, it's another one of these cases where the UFC wants to be a dictatorship, and we've seen it in the past. I mean, there was shit that happened with Burt Watson, and somehow he's not in there. There was shit that happened with Stitch Duran where he spoke honestly and not derogatory about the UFC.
Yes.
And luckily, Bellator just signed him to be one of their new cut man, so good for him. Okay. And then Brendan Schaub obviously spoke his mind, and he's no longer allowed back on UFC Tonight or whatever. But the problem is, you should be able to speak your mind. That's where I have the issue. I mean, I get if you're a partner of the UFC, but you can't curtail speech. I mean, this goes into a censorship issue, and here we are. Oh, fuck it. You speak against the UFC, you lose your press credentials. Guess what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We'll say whatever we want.
Well, I think a lot in this day and age, too many companies are trying, and not just MMA, but in general, are trying to control their story. Instead, write a better story. instead of trying to control the story. So,
or fix the problems.
Yes.
Obviously, if someone's talking about something, you have an issue.
That's what
Everyone
I mean.
knows Reebok's a fucking issue.
Fix the issue.
Vitor Belfort just said he's losing millions of dollars because of this fucking Reebok
Oh,
deal.
yeah, I'm sure he is.
And here's another problem. He doesn't want to leave the UFC.
Why?
He loves it.
Oh.
I think it's the prestige
love
of fighting for the premier organization.
I love to fight for the UFC.
Fuck it.
I love my peoples.
Get paid.
Give me the
Benson
steroid.
Henderson yourself out. Matt Mitrione yourself out. Roy McDonald yourself
Go
out.
to Bellator and fight
Josh
Rampage.
Thompson, fight your way out. Or Rampage,
Yeah.
you know. I think he was the trendsetter.
He was.
He was the first guy. They wouldn't let him wear, I think it was Reebok
Oh, yeah.
back in the day.
But when did he fight last? Like a year ago?
Oh my God, I
2
don't
years
even know.
ago?
That guy's
Does he
just
still
twitching
fight?
video games.
He's like eating Cheetos and fucking talking
He
shit.
looked, where the fuck did I just see him? He was at some press conference for some fight.
This is Rampage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Was some obscure organization. It was the one that was doing the Chael Sonnen versus Michael Bisping fake wrestling match.
Yeah.
He was at the
Commentating?
weigh-ins or some shit. Where it was supposed to be Dan Severn versus Ken Shamrock, but then Ken Shamrock was suspended for 90 days for the steroids, and then Tank Abbott tried to take the fight on short notice, and then Tank wasn't medically cleared. Fuck.
Crazy.
So that fight got scrapped, but Rampage was there. I was like, oh my God, he looks large and in charge. Moving right along. Let's keep with the EA or the UFC theme and talk about EA UFC 2. They're kind enough to finally send us our review copies about fucking 14 days later. Anyways.
I don't want to talk bad, but I'm just going to say this.
Go.
It's a digital fucking copy. Did you run out of copies?
No, I think someone got overlooked, and then
Yes.
Matt didn't follow up.
It's all good.
A little bit
I'm just
later.
saying, it's so silly. It's not just them. It's because
Everybody.
Because we've tried. I've worked on getting some game demos and shit and whatever, and it's always like, oh, we'll put you on the list. I'm like, it's a digital copy. There's a list, really? It's digital. It's come on, right? It's weird. Anyways, the game for me is sort of like, it's okay. I will say that the gameplay in the stand-up feels great. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on with the ground game. I don't really understand. I haven't invested more than maybe 10 hours into it, if that. So, but I don't know. I used to love it. I was all about I love it. I think my favorite is still Undisputed. UFC. Remember UFC Undisputed?
Undisputed 3, the THQ.
Yeah. That was the best one.
That was the best. You can't beat it. It had pride mode. See, my problem is if I want to play a sports game, I need it to be arcadey.
Yes.
That's why I could never get into Madden. I mean, I'll play a little bit of the hockey just because you can still
Which
fight.
one? Wouldn't you say that sucks?
The 2020.
Yeah, I thought it's
fucking
free.
eats
I
ass.
cannot play that game.
My
It's
friend
horrible.
Brian, we played the 15. He had it tweaked perfect. Then he got 16. It was complete shit. You couldn't check to save your life.
Nope.
Well, if you had everything working great, why'd you fuck it up when you moved
They
forward
like to
with
do
the new
that.
game?
Shift it around.
So, from that standpoint, I told you back in the day, my favorite game was that one football where you could make your guys do
Yeah.
steroids,
Yes.
and then you can't make them do too much because you will fail a drug test. When I play a video game, I need it to be arcadey and not so real. And they got a little close with the KO mode, but there's still a stamina drain.
Yeah.
I want to be able to fight.
Rock'em sock'em.
Yes.
No stamina.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just come out there and stand and bang. You're close on the KO mode. Give me, I can fight any fighter against any fighter. It's a fucking video game. I can wear whatever shorts I want. It's a fucking video game.
Right.
Pride rules. It's a video game.
Men versus
That's all
women.
I'm asking. You know?
Ronda
Make
Rousey
it-
versus Cain Velasquez.
Right.
Let's do
Why? Why not?
it. See what
Look
happens.
at contrast that to Mortal Kombat. Anybody fights anybody. They have all their different moves. I just need it arcadey. That's just my style of game playing. So
I'm with you.
as far as what I saw, did it look better? Yeah. It felt
graphically.
better.
Sure.
Played better. Am I going to continue playing? I look at all the options, and for me, I need it simple. And when I look at the start screen, I see 500 different things. Okay, go here, go here, go here.
Yeah, you're a simple man.
I'm out. Simple
Like
fan.
butter.
Like butter in my ass and lollipops in my mouth.
There you go.
So, looks great again.
Oh,
Want
yeah.
it more arcadey.
Yeah.
And
Xbox looks great.
we'll play more. Hey, speaking of that, aren't they doing upgrades or something? You're going to be able to upgrade your Xbox? What we're talking
Supposedly
about
there'll be like add-on video cards and processors and stuff. This kind of reminds me of scarily of like back in the day when Nintendo and Sega were hot. Remember Sega had all these fucking things you could add, like a disc,
add-ons?
yeah, the disc drive thing, and I bought all this shit, and it was supposed to make it all better, and it just, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it will be nice if the console doesn't matter, because Xbox is already trying to do that with, is it The Division? I forgot which game it is. It's one of the games, or maybe it's like a driving game with balls. I forgot what it's called.
The Rocket League or something.
They want to make it open to if you have an Xbox, you can play with PC or PlayStation. It doesn't matter. But of course, Sony's not on board with this yet at this point. But I think that's the direction everything's headed. Because really, what does it matter what box you're using? It's the game. It doesn't matter, right? It's a game you're playing.
Why do my friends have to be judged based on what
Sony
console
or
they
Xbox,
have? One friend always wants to be on PlayStation. I'm always going to be on Xbox.
Exactly.
So we're never going to fucking play online together.
I feel like this time I missed out, though, because everyone seems to have PlayStation. Everyone and their mom. But I like my Xbox. You know, my kid and I play that thing. It's pretty easy to use. Controller's a little bigger. Got fat fingers.
Well, I like the 360 controller better than this Xbox One. The 360 felt more natural. This new Xbox One got smaller and hurts my hands. I have a hard time hitting the bumpers and the triggers, where the other one was like, like butter.
The original Xbox.
Like
remember how big the original Xbox was? It was huge. It was like you literally have to rest it on your leg or something. It's heavy. So.
Well, let's keep on the video game thing.
Yes.
And EA UFC 2. Joanna Jedrzejczyk is gracing the cover of the Poland version of EA UFC 2. And who else is on the cover, Ingo, of the regular game?
Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey.
And what happened to both of them?
Death.
I'm just saying, the EA curse is real.
Can I remind you of one thing?
Go ahead.
She's Polish.
And?
You know the jokes.
No.
It's going to work in reverse. Whatever it is, she's going to become the greatest champion ever.
I'm going to say bet against her in her next fight, because that fucking curse is real.
It's weird. Yeah, it is.
It's scary real.
It's very real.
And I'm not even talking football. I'm just talking
in general.
That's right.
Maybe we'll be on the cover. Do I nothing exciting. I think we've.
Are you sure? Like we shouldn't talk about
You're doing it, trying to do it to me. I have not done it. I've really except once, twice.
I'm gonna put up a total this whole show. I'm gonna have a running like counter over Angle.
Like total 12.
You probably.
It doesn't count when I'm trying to say it on purpose, does it?
I'm just gonna put a count.
We should play a game. Ding! You have to
every time he says it. Ding!
You have to drink every time I say like.
Ooh, I like this.
Yes. Drink.
Anytime someone's, but does that my saying I like this count? Because that was in a sentence where it made sense.
No, like as a comma is what the problem is. I don't like that.
Pause.
I'd rather say pause or it should be fuck. Those are both acceptable substitutes.
Ooh, my wireless just.
It's doing it again.
Died.
Oh, it's 12. That's why.
Oh, sorry. Did you need it?
I'm good.
Yeah,
my iPad's like, no more Wi-Fi. Go fuck yourself.
I configured my wireless to shut off at midnight.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really cool.
You do 12.
Except when we're doing business. I can adjust that for Sundays
nights till 1.
Yes.
Which I hope I'm never here till 1 ever.
Oh.
Tonight I might be.
We started a little late. We were off last week. There was Easter going on.
We were rapping. That's what happens. Sometimes we have to shut our discussion before the show down because it could go on for days. Yes. Like, wait a second, we got to work here. I said it again. So
here we go.
Please.
Ask the Nuts. What card will be bigger, UFC 200 or the first card in New York?
New York.
Agree. Ben Less asks, do you think there will be any other high-profile fights added to UFC's 200 card? And if so, what would you like to see?
I'd like to see Cyborg. on that card against somebody important. Rousey or Miesha Tate. I like that.
I got a UFC 200 card. Here's what I would have liked to see. Conor McGregor versus BJ Penn. Jon Jones versus Cain Velasquez.
Okay.
Robbie Lawler versus Vitor Belfort.
Ooh.
Mark Hunt versus Alistair Overeem.
Ooh.
And you started off with GSP versus Anderson Silva.
Start it that way? Wow.
So it goes in.
That is insane. I like
that was where I would have been.
Quite enjoyable that card would be to view.
UFC, I am available to matchmake anytime, any place, anywhere. If you were in charge of the UFC, what single hilarious decision could you make to ensure an event does terribly?
I would hire Reebok to sponsor exclusively. What would you do?
I give all the fighters a laxative 1 hour before their fight. So talk about the shitstorm that would ensue.
Literally.
And figurative. Are you going to literally let me shit all over the ring, John? Yes, I will. Oh, I forgot to mention that. So UFC 200. Fucking A. How about all the posters they made?
They're cool.
That is top notch.
The graffiti stuff?
Yeah,
I like it
I forgot to mention that
it's
earlier.
Very, very unique and different. Big fan.
And all the fake ones have been popping up of Cormier and Jon Jones, like Goldberg, Joe Rogan. There was one of Dana White. All sorts of cool ones, but you should check those out. Andrew Lara, could Nate Diaz ever be the UFC's golden boy?
He could. I would say that if he continues to play the game as he has been, there's a real good potential he may be in the near future.
And how personable has he been of late?
Extremely.
Wow.
Extremely personable. It's almost as if he feels that he has arrived personally and he believes in his own self more than he did previous to beating Conor McGregor. And now he's like, hey, I am the man.
Vindicated.
That's right. Love me. Blow me.
Suck at my dick.
Yes.
Brandon Mason asks, what are your thoughts on the UFC 200 card so far, and which fight on that card are you excited to see the most?
Out of 200 questions.
Yes.
None. If I'm being honest,
fair enough.
So far, the needle has not been moved for me either.
No, it's... I joked and said I'm quarter erect for that card, but literally am.
Okay.
How do you pronounce this name? Gilles.
Gilles? What's his first name?
That is the first name. The last name is McGregor.
Gilles McGregor?
Sure.
Gilles.
Who will prevail? Conor versus Nate 2. All right.
I say Nate for sure.
I said Conor. We'll go into more details later. Bill Brown 7071 on Twitter asks, how much did Conor McGregor make from pay-per-view at UFC 196? It's reported he made $16 million. Is Conor making like $8 to $10 million per pay-per-view?
I would say that and more.
I'd say
ridiculous.
10 is probably the minimum he's making, if not more.
Why do you think everybody is up on that ass trying to get that fight?
Of course, that's a money fight.
Whoa. Yeah.
That's why I look at Jose Aldo and still don't understand why he passed on that fight.
Doesn't need the money.
Oh, I guess he was the one who was complaining about not getting paid for so long.
Excuse me.
Independent contractors, make your mark. Eighth Wall on Twitter. He's got a bunch of good questions. Here we go. Is Conor's new strategy just to outpoint Nate? Can't KO or sub him or out cardio a Diaz brother? # immediate rubber match.
I believe you called it earlier and you have a shared opinion. So I will hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that.
Yes.
If Conor loses to Nate twice at 170 and then Frankie at 145, does he get to challenge Rafael dos Anjos at 155? Question. No. What the fuck?
No.
No, I think 3 is so detrimental to his career. It's retarded. If he loses again to Nate,
big problem.
Man, I'm concerned the UFC might spike Nate's water I'm just saying, we've gone close. We're so close to WWE. I'm not saying Nate's gonna take a dive. I'm saying someone might spike his fucking Kool-Aid.
Put a little weed in there.
I'm surprised he didn't fail that drug test. We have not got drug test results back though.
Oh, we haven't.
Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Maybe the UFC knows he's gonna fail the drug test, so they put those fights in motion, and then they're actually gonna make it a Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. Or BJ Penn steps in on short notice. First, Nate and now DC are referred to be willing to die in the octagon. Bad idea? Should fighters say this?
No, we just talked about this last show before. I think it's retarded. This is a sport.
Yeah, you're in a cage.
Yes.
There's a ref and there's rules. You're not out on the street. I get if you're on the street, yeah.
But then you're not shooting double legs and doing fucking jujitsu.
No.
You're not doing.
I mean, you want to go to the ground.
No.
Stay off the ground.
Yes. You use your jujitsu to run away.
Or choke a fool unconscious and then run away.
Yes.
And then Tabasco bottle up the ass, Bass Rutten style. Who is one fighter who is the best at taking punishment?
The best?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is a
You
tough
know
one.
it.
Me?
Yeah. Who's one of your favorite fighters?
BJ Penn?
Mm-hmm.
He's good at taking punishment.
Fuck yeah. I don't know of someone better. I mean, Junior Dos Santos has taken a lot of punishment, but I don't think it's good. I think it's taken years off his life.
Well,
Rory McDonald's taken a lot of punishment,
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's good.
I was thinking of Rory.
I think BJ Penn, because he doesn't
Penn's up
bleed.
there.
Anderson Silva, because he doesn't bleed.
Yeah, and Junior, I think, was just on some talk show talking about it's not as bad as it looks. Like,
Oh, God.
I
I think his face probably looks the worst
yeah, it's all poofy,
out of people.
disgusting. Probably BJ. Yeah, maybe it's the best at taking punishment. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta say it's BJ. Who would you like? Strike that. Would you like to see a thing where an immediate rematch only happens if the fans vote yes at UFC.com?
I would love that. I'm all in.
I'm gonna say no. I don't ever want to see an immediate rematch ever again. Unfortunately, the UFC thinks 2s and 3s are more valuable than 1s. Is McGregor the Donald Trump of MMA, or is Donald Trump the Conor McGregor of politics?
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I would say. If/when Ronda and CM Punk attend UFC 200 and are shown on a jumbotron, I can almost say that, will they get booed or cheered?
Again, yes.
CM Punk is going to get booed incestively.
Incest? Like,
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Remember.
I'm going with that, and I'm sticking with
It's funny
that.
how the English language is so weird. Just a different,
Yeah. Yin or yang.
it's a whole different meaning.
And Ronda Rousey, I think she'll be cheered.
Is
I'm thinking Jon Jones, right?
that Las Vegas that's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they probably love her there.
She'll get cheered. The Punk gets booed. What will happen if cops release clear video of Johnny Bones Jones drag racing? Can they do it? # Weigold Griffith 2016.
We're on this ticket.
We are.
Oh,
We ain't
dude.
fucking around, and you don't even know.
Could you imagine?
It's
That'd be
so
something.
ridiculous. I'm just saying.
Take it.
Shit's
President,
getting
vice
real.
president, doesn't matter. Fucking burn it down.
I take vice president. You can be
I don't want to.
president
Dude,
all
I'm
day.
gonna be the first shot at.
I'm a smart man. I'm
You
in
go
the
first.
background.
I don't want to be the
doing
president.
None of the work.
Like, can we
That
be
guy does all the work.
co-vice presidents?
Yes.
Oh hell!
Be like the Fertitas anytime they have a disagreement.
Jiu-jitsu match?
I don't know if I want to jiu-jitsu. You could probably beat me.
No, I don't think so. You still got me. I'm weak. What was the question? I don't remember.
What will happen if the cops release clear video of John?
It doesn't matter. You
Dragon?
guys already know. The guy is not squeaky clean. He's never going to be squeaky clean. I don't know how deep everything goes, but the man is troubled. And somebody needs to put a stop to it, or he's going to fuck his life up. This is just my opinion.
I think it's a conspiracy. I think it's the man trying to keep the man down. He's the best pound for pound fighter on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wonder if this pullover is a makeup for him getting away on that other, doing 75 and a 35. Anybody else? You're in prison.
Yeah.
Hard to say. I'm still just wondering, how does TMZ end up with the body cam footage? I don't think there's ever been any other person that I can ever think of that within, a few days had that released. I don't think I've seen that for anybody. And there were jokes that he should have took that time to call out Daniel Cormier, knowing that it's going to get released. Like, Daniel Cormier, you still there, pussy? Should have used that to fucking hype the fight, man. I think we should just call out all fighters. You get pulled over by police, you better hype your next fight, motherfucker.
So, in the middle of a law situation, you just start promoting your fight, and the cop's like, what are you talking about? Fuck you, Cormier!
I'm gonna beat you, you pussy ass. You smell like pussy. I'm gonna smash your pussy ass. What? Mr. Jones, please step out of the vehicle.
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Stand your ground, Jon Jones. I support you. Stand your ground.
It's chaos.
It is. Rodrigo Machado's going to close it out. He says, hey, guys, it was my birthday last week on the 28th. On Easter, I turned exactly 28. Can I get a happy birthday song, pretty please?
Are we singing happy birthday?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I feel like a monkey.
Everyone's going to be like,
hey, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
See? Now you might I'll give you this. You see this? You see this? Happy birthday.
I do magic. See this one?
There you go. Nice. I like that.
It looks really good on video.
That's fucking awesome.
Hey, now it goes this way.
Sideways.
But happy birthday.
28. That makes a lot of sense. Do us a favor.
Don't change.
Yes. I was going to say something else, but that sounds better.
It's all good.
Yes.
Knowledge. You got any knowledge for this week?
Knowledge?
Yeah.
No.
I tried Netflix. I canceled it.
Why?
Yet again. I fucking hate the navigation.
Oh, bummer.
It's so nonsense.
Even on the Xbox?
Yeah, it's not intuitive.
It is not.
To the way my brain works.
They put a focus on the thing,
Yeah,
trying to find. Yeah.
Keep it simple. Matt likes simple selections. List. Everything wants to go left to right. Why can't I go up and down? Simple.
You can, but then they give you genres.
Yeah, it's so
really confusing.
retarded. They think they know me. You don't know me.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm capable of.
Facebook's all based on what you previously liked and watched and all that, and it helps you kind of navigate that structure. But you're right. A list would be nice. They don't have that. They used to. Gone.
So I'm out. I come in, and then I get another email on another email address right after I canceled saying, hey, come back for another free trial. No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Did you watch anything?
I did, and I don't even remember what I watched. Oh, I watched Bill Burr had a cartoon on there.
Yeah. Good.
It was okay. I watched a whole one season, and the one thing I will say that was nice is I like how if you picked a series, it would give you 15 seconds and then start into the next show.
Yeah.
And that's why they binge watch on Netflix.
You
It's
never
easy.
stop.
I don't have to.
You don't have to do anything.
I did 3.
It just keeps going. You just go, okay, I'll watch another one. And then you just sit there and you're like, fuck, I got to watch one more. And then that's how you get through 42 episodes of whatever.
So from that aspect, that was kind of cool.
Eventually the message does pop up, says, are you still watching?
That's it.
It does. It takes a while. A few hours.
Pandora.
Yeah.
We'll shut you down. Motherfucker, we pay for it.
I'm telling you, Apple Music, I'm hooked. They got my money. I'm going to spend the $9 a month. Dude, you can do anything you want, anywhere. You can just, it's crazy. I don't understand how they can do that. Literally. You can make your own playlists. They give you free playlists. You download.
Apple's got God money. They probably have $1 trillion in cash by now. So, and that's no joke. I mean, they have that much.
They had $100 billion or something at some point, I think.
Yeah, they're off the charts. And there was some article that just got published today, where I guess there's a huge corruption scandal of multiple countries that just got posted. Edward Snowden said this is the biggest leak ever of all different countries, all different banks, all different athletes, politicians, offshore accounts.
Oh.
Just happened today. And the curious thing was there were no United States people on the list.
Yeah.
And whoever, I think it was 400 journalists have been piling over 2.4 terabytes of information.
Whoa.
In the last year, and then they finally dumped it all out. And you're talking, I think, Prime Minister of Iceland or whoever's running fucking Iceland that was supposed to be legitimate. They're already calling for his resignation. So it's all of these countries across the board. United States is going to come up next. And it'll be interesting to see all the bankers and all these offshore accounts all coming crashing down.
Edward Snowden is still in the
somewhere in the booty.
Okay.
Hiding.
Good for him. Did you watch that documentary, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Strange.
Citizen 4.
Yes.
Give me heart palpitations. The whole
Very
thing. I was so
weird.
scared. Like, oh my god, they're gonna catch him.
They're
He's gonna
get
die.
him. Yeah. Didn't quite happen.
You gotta be careful. Very scary.
All right. Well, that's been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. You go Gold.
Megger with. Thanks for plans. See you next time.